All right, welcome back. In our last explainer, we talked all about why traditional affirmations just don't seem to work, right? They hit this wall in our conscious mind and never get to where the real change needs to happen. And that left us with a pretty big question.
Yeah, if the old way doesn't work, what does? I mean, what would a system even look like if it was actually designed to get past all that internal argument and talk directly to the subconscious? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
Okay, so the whole thing really hinges on this one core idea. It's that your conscious mind, the one that's always thinking and analyzing, it listens for meaning. It wants to argue with the words. But your subconscious, it listens for shape. It responds to pattern, to rhythm, to the very structure of the language. And that's why the design of these statements is so much more important than just the positive message on the surface.
So, with that in mind, let's dive into the first layer of this whole thing, the language itself. We're talking about how the individual sentences are actually built.
Just look at the difference here and really feel it. A traditional affirmation might say something like, I have the right to exist. But doesn't that just sound defensive? It's like you're on trial, trying to prove your own worth. But a harmonic linguistics code shifts that completely to, I am naturally part of the whole. See the difference? One argues, the other just is. It doesn't ask for a debate, it just points to a fundamental truth.
And this is done using a totally different kind of language. It's not literal or bossy, it's symbolic. It uses images that your body just gets, Things like the ground beneath your feet, roots, ocean waves. It's also relational. It's always connecting you to something bigger, not isolating you. And maybe most importantly, it never tries to force you to believe something. It's more like an invitation to just experience it.
Here's a great example. Take a code like this one. Now, notice, it isn't arguing about whether your feelings are good or bad. No, it just reframes the whole experience as something natural, something cyclical, kind of like the tide. It gives your subconscious this deep pattern of safety and return. And that's a message it can just absorb without putting up a fight.
Okay, but the design here is way bigger than just a few cleverly worded sentences. This is where it gets really interesting. Let's zoom out to the second layer and look at how all these individual pieces fit together to form a whole system.
See, the 30 codes in this system, they're not just some random collection of positive thoughts. Nope. They are carefully, and I mean meticulously, organized into a structure that's meant to address your whole psyche at the same time. And this is so important because it stops that weird imbalance you can get when you say focus only on strength and forget all about softness. It's all built around these three axes. Think of it like this. The x-axis is all about structure, containment, that feeling of being grounded and present. Then you've got the y-axis, which invites in flow, emotion, and being able to receive things safely. And finally, the z-axis. Well, that's the magic ingredient. It takes the other two and weaves them together into one coherent whole field. The system is always working on all three of these dimensions together.
And the way it maintains that balance is through this beautiful spiraling pattern. You'll work with a statement for structure, then one for feeling, then one for integration, and then the cycle starts over. X, then Y, then Z. X, Y, Z. It's this constant, gentle rhythm that's really at the heart of the design, making sure no part of you gets left behind or pushed too hard.
And this right here is a perfect way to understand why that spiral is so powerful. A single lonely affirmation is like playing just one note on a piano. Plink. But this sequence, this is like playing a full, rich, harmonic chord. Your subconscious isn't just hearing a word over and over. It's hearing a complete, resonant pattern. It's hearing the music of wholeness.
Okay, so we've got the language, we've got the system. That brings us to the third and final layer, the delivery. How do you actually get these codes into your system? This is really cool. Each code isn't just a one-and-done thing. It's delivered in 4 different ways, each one going a little bit deeper. First, you speak it out loud. That gets your body, your breath involved. It puts it into your physical memory. Then you whisper it. This pulls your attention inward, and it actually helps calm your nervous system. After that, you recite it silently, letting the pattern just soak into the deepest, quietest part of your mind. And finally, you write it out by hand, literally carving that pattern into your motor memory. So you see, every single mode opens up a totally different channel of your awareness. When you put them all together, it's like you're creating this resonance chamber inside yourself. The pattern isn't just being heard by your ears or seen by your eyes.
It's being received at every possible level of your being.
So, what's the end game here? What happens when you combine this incredibly designed language with this holistic system and this multi-layered delivery method? What does it all add up to?
And this is the absolute key takeaway. The point of this practice isn't to try and cram a new belief into your head through brute force. Not at all. It's about giving your psyche a whole new blueprint, a new way to organize itself from the inside out. It's a huge shift. You move away from all that effort, all that struggle to believe, and you move into a state of just inherent organization. You're not telling yourself what to be, you're teaching yourself how to be. And of course, this entire coordinated system, all of it, from the language right down to the delivery, it all comes from the work of Michael Goldstein in his book Harmonic Linguistics. It's really a complete, self-contained method for bringing back that sense of inner coherence. So we've covered the what and the how of the system, but there's still one big piece of the puzzle left, isn't there? We know the language uses symbols and imagery, but what is it about the grammar, the actual sentence structure, the syntax, that gives it so much power to get past our defenses? Well, that's a deep dive, and that's exactly what we're going to get into in our next explainer.